Okay, hello everybody. Wolf Movie Reviews here, as always. I don't know why I like to say Wolf Movie Reviews, but that's how it goes. So, right now I got a stuffy nose, so don't worry about that. I mean, I'm a little sick right now, but let's go on with this. So today I'm going to be reviewing Deadpool. Okay, so I really enjoyed Deadpool number one. I don't know, for some reason. I don't know if it's just me or it's everybody out there. I don't know if it's just me. But I felt that Deadpool, the first, was better. Was way better. And I and I felt that Deadpool the first was, let me see. Okay, so I don't know. I felt like Deadpool the first was way better than the second, but at the same time, I felt that the first was less action and much more storytelling. But there was a lot of action. There was a lot of action. I think what did it was because there was a lot of funny things in the first movie. Very funny, like where Deadpool was fighting these bad guys in these black trucks like Chevrolets, and Deadpool was cutting their heads off, hands off, and even being funny, chopping their heads and saying, wait a minute, don't shoot." And then all of a sudden Deadpool just somehow took them down. But what I'm saying is that I felt like the second movie was good, but I thought the first one was like a masterpiece. And I thought, how can they make the second fun? I mean, if Ryan Reynolds says that the second one is funny, then it's funny. But when I watched it, I felt like it wasn't that funny like the first one. I have to say that I enjoyed the second one, but there was nothing boring. It was just like, it was not that funny as the first. It wasn't that funny. Just showed a couple of funny parts and here and there, and I felt like it was okay. I felt like it was okay because the thing that Deadpool / Ryan Reynolds had in the first movie was more funnier scenes, more funnier. But when it came to the Cable versus Deadpool, I felt like it was whatever. It was okay. It wasn't that great where you could say, wow, Cable is definitely taking down Deadpool. But I did find it to be, I mean, in the action scene, I felt it to be okay. I didn't feel it to be that amazing. And the problem with this Deadpool was that, I'll be honest, that this Deadpool, out of nowhere, they decided to bring a character, Juggernaut, which I've only seen Juggernaut in video games. Like, I think it was called Marvel vs. Capcom. I think that's where you see Juggernaut, and then that's where I've seen them. That's where I've seen that character. I've never seen them other than that. But the Juggernaut, I've definitely seen them in the Marvel vs. Capcom franchise or the video game. And the problem that I had was that they just decided to bring that character out of nowhere because Fire Fist, or I think his name was Fireflight. No, not Fireflight. I think it was called Fire Fist. I think the name of the little boy, like 15 years old, Fire Fist or something. And then that's where we got to see that he decided to go to the big guy, Juggernaut, to protect him. But the thing that really was weird for me was that Deadpool didn't, I gotta be honest, I think I'm gonna be 100% honest that this movie was completely different than what I thought, because I thought that Deadpool was gonna have more fighting scenes where he fights against Juggernaut himself, but he didn't, because he had everybody else fight him. which was weird. I just didn't get it. But the part that was really weird was that Deadpool. That was a scene where Deadpool ended up fighting. No, not fighting. Deadpool ended up recruiting. He recruited all these members like Peter, Domino, and everybody else. And then I think it was a group of 5, including Terry Crews. But I wonder why in the previews of the movie they showed Terry Crews like he was a major character, like he was going to fight something, or he was going to become like a sidekick for Deadpool. But when you watch the movie, it was completely different. It was like, what? They all died. And I don't know if that's aggressive to say, but they all got splattered everywhere. The whole team got destroyed except for Domino. I guess Domino was the main protagonist, I guess, other than Deadpool. There was the main protagonist, which I felt like, yep, it was. I guess they were the both main protagonists, while Cable claimed to be, I guess Cable is, in this sense, I would say he's also a protagonist in this movie, but he tries to take down Fire Fist, I think his name is, or Flame Fist, or yeah, I think it's called something like that. But the problem is that Deadpool says, don't kill him, or don't remove him from our world. Just keep him here. I'll talk some sense into him until Deadpool just gets burned by Fire Fist, or whatever his name is. I don't want to just say Fire Fist because I don't know if that's his name. I forgot. But that one dude, he took down Deadpool, and then, well, but the only reason he took down Deadpool was because Deadpool put that thing around his neck, that machine, or I mean, he put a collar on his neck, which weakened him and made him have cancer again, and made him have all those sicknesses again, and he was weak. And then Fire Fist had the ability to take him down. But Cable, I guess Cable, I don't know if Cable is more like, I don't want to say that Cable is more like Doctor Strange, Stephen Strange, because what I know is that Stephen Strange can turn back time, but I'm not sure if Cable has all those abilities to turn back time and to, I mean, I saw that he turned back time to bring back Deadpool from the dead because he gave him that coin again. But the thing that I forgot to tell you is that I'm just talking about all you guys that haven't seen it yet. I forgot to tell you that Deadpool's girlfriend gets taken out, and for some reason, I mean, if you guys have watched it, for some reason I felt from the beginning that his girlfriend was going to get murdered. I don't know, for some reason I felt it already from the beginning. I'm like, it's I don't know, for some reason I felt it, that his girlfriend was gonna get shot or something, Deadpool's girlfriend. And then when the bad guy escapes, I'm like, I already see it. He's not going anywhere. He's just gonna get hurt or crash or something. Unlike other movies there's times where the bad guys, let's say that the good guy he gets beaten up, he gets thrown all over the place, and then the good guy runs down the stairs or run out the door and chases after the bad guy, but the bad guy ends up escaping for another time, which is weird, but that's how sometimes it happens. It's not like all the time, oh, he got hurt, the bad guy he didn't get away. But sometimes the bad guy gets away, but then the good guy ends up finding him later on during the movie, or during other scenes of other movies or something. So yeah, I felt that it was kind of weird for me to see Deadpool go up against a little boy, but he didn't fight him. That was weird. I would have liked like the first movie where Deadpool fought the bad guys, but instead this time he sat back and he let Domino and he let everybody else try to take down the bad guys. I mean, in reality, there was... It's hard for me to say this, but in reality, in the movie, I felt that there was no bad guys. None of them were bad guys. I mean, if you actually point this out, none of them are the bad guys. Not even... I guess none of them were the bad guys, except for that guy that collected all the mutants to weaken them and to use them as slaves or something. But I felt that none of them were bad guys except for him. But he wasn't really doing anything anyways. He was just running around hiding. He didn't fight. He didn't do anything, which was weird. But to tell the truth, there was no bad guys anyways. During the whole movie, I felt like there was no bad guys. Just that Deadpool was fighting against Cable, and Cable was fighting against Deadpool. And according to me, I felt that both of them were like the protagonists, trying to get the same thing, trying to protect. I mean, in the beginning, they were both trying to protect. I mean, I know they were both trying to protect the little boy, like 15-year-old boy. I think he is like 15, 16. But the reality is that none of them. I mean, Deadpool actually didn't care for the little boy until he got into his little like kind of hallucination, or kind of like heaven, where he saw his girlfriend, and then his girlfriend said, protect the little boy, or something like that, protect the one you love or something. And then he protected the little boy, and then Cable came and tried to take Deadpool down, and so on. But I felt that this movie was kind of a complete opposite of what the first one was about, because I felt that Deadpool had more in his bag than for the first movie than the second. The second one was, I felt like, for some reason, even though how it felt, for the second one, I felt like they did take their time, but at the same time, it felt great. The scenery, all the scenery felt great, but I felt like the movie was rushed. I felt like it was boring, because in reality there was nothing evil. There was no Deadpool wasn't fighting an actual evil guy. He never. I mean, he did fight against again, I'll say it. He fought against Cable, but both of them were the protagonists, and the little boy was also kind of a protagonist, because I guess he was considered a protagonist, because if he was an antagonist, they would have just shot him and left him there. But I felt that, yeah, they were all protagonists. Even Juggernaut wasn't an antagonist. He was just being controlled or something, because the little boy just said, "I'll pay you," or something like that. "I'll pay you and you protect me, buddy. Protect me, Juggernaut." And yeah, so for the most part, I felt this movie got... I don't want to give it a low rating either. I want to say this movie, for me, was like a 6 or 7. Why? Because I felt the first one, just like the first movie, was like, wow. But I understand where people get the idea that a sequel should not be made. Sequels end up failing compared to the original. It's like saying, let's give you a movie. Okay, so let's say, let's go on with Jim Carrey, Dumb and Dumber. People loved the first movie, but then when they came out like 20 years later with Dumb and Dumber, or I think it was called Dumb and Dumber, or I think it's called Dumb and Dumber 2, or I get confused because there's this other movie that was made in between those two, Dumb and Dumber 1 and Dumb and Dumber 2, which was, I think, Dumb and Dumber, I think it was called, or Dumber Dumber or something like that, which was weird because that movie definitely took completely different characters and different actors and put them together and make this movie called Dumb and Dumber, I think it was called, but it was just bad because I felt like it was forced. So that one I would say that's a prequel. I think that I would say that's a prequel because it's like before the sequel, I guess, or I don't know how it goes, but I felt that was insanely bad. That Dumb and Dumber, with the version that didn't have Jim Carrey, just say it. The version that didn't have Jim Carrey and I forget the other guy's name. I forget his name. His name is I forget his name. The other guy, Lloyd, I think his name, or Harry. I don't know, but something like that. Like I said, the prequel, the one that didn't, the Dumb and Dumber that didn't have Jim Carrey and the other dude, was just insanely bad, and that's where I say, yeah, it's true. Sequels shouldn't be made because sequels are bad, but the reason I would have said that this Deadpool was kind of bad was because it doesn't pick up. It's not like Guardians of the Galaxy, or it's not like, I guess, it's not like Guardians of the Galaxy, or it's not like Spider-Man, where he has an objective from the beginning. Because the first movie, because basically for me, I get that the first movie, it doesn't end as a full movie. It ends as a movie. Then they show a scene from like what's gonna kind of happen in the next movie, which is leading up to it. But this Deadpool just ended the first movie. Then the second one just came out of nowhere and just had these guys just shoot. I don't really know why, but these guys that shoot Deadpool's girlfriend. I don't really know why they're after him, or they're not really after him, but they just decide to come to his building and shoot and murder his girlfriend. But it kind of didn't seem like, I don't know how it happened. Oh no, yeah, I do. I remember how it happened. I was gonna say I don't remember how it happened, how his girlfriend got shot. But yeah, I do. When I think Deadpool ends up throwing the butter knife or something, and then that's when that bad guy, or the other guy, just shoots with his gun and misses Deadpool, but still gets his girlfriend murdered. So, like I said, I would give this 6 or 7 out of 10, and that's saying a lot. I'm still giving it a higher rating than it should. So, like I said, I felt this movie was kind of rushed, in a way, but at the same time, I felt like it was okay. But was it better than the first? I would say definitely not. Definitely not better than the first. And like I said, there was nothing leading up to this movie. There's nothing from the first movie that says, yeah, we're going from the first to the second. Just randomly, just put Deadpool in the movie and just randomly have bad guys just go and murder his girlfriend so he could go crazy and want revenge. But revenge to what? He didn't have no revenge to anything. He's just captured because they send him out to try to take down the little boy, but instead they both get captured or something. And then they say, yeah, both of you are mutants, so let's go, mutants. So I felt that the first movie, and I'm sticking to my own thing, that the first movie of Deadpool was better than the second. So every time I used to say, yeah, Deadpool is better than all these movies. Yeah, the first one. But then the second one, I'm like, is it better than all these movies? Or all these movies, like, say, is it better than Infinity War? Is it any better than, I don't know, is it better than than Doctor Strange? Is it better than Iron Man? I mean, yeah, I would say that the first Deadpool was amazing, and I gotta say, holy smack in the face, it was good. But then when you see the second one and you compare it to the first, it's like, what a disappointment. So I guess I would say, if you enjoyed the second one, then I would say, yeah, go for it. And I have to say, yes, I through the whole summary or my own review of this movie. I jumped around back and forth, and I'm sorry for doing that, but I jumped from beginning to end and end to beginning and so on, and just kind of a way to try to, for you guys that you've watched it, try to make you guys like be like, is this scene first or is that scene first, or so on. I try to mix it in so it wouldn't be like continuous. But like I said, I felt that the first Deadpool was just amazing, and the second one was like, it's like saying the first one was a Coca-Cola, and then the second one was just like a Pepsi or a freaking, I don't know if I could say freaking, but I'm gonna just stop. I would say that the second one is more like a Pepsi Cola or an RC Cola, where the first one is amazing, like a Coke, and then the second one is like RC Cola, like just like you drink it because you're thirsty, but not because you want it, not because it's tasty, but you keep drinking it because you're thirsty. It's like so on. But it's like I said, it's not that amazing to say, wow, it amazed me. But I'm being honest, that's it. 7 out of 10, 6 or 7 out of 10. I felt that it wasn't that amazing to the first, and I'm just speculating, and I'm gonna give you my speculation. According to Ryan Reynolds, there's going to be a Deadpool 3, which is, they should just stop already. Or if they're going to make a Deadpool 3, I'm going to say, please take your time. I don't care if it took you 2-3 years to make this movie. Just take your time, because even though it took you like, I don't know how long it took you to make this movie, it's like, I guess I'll just stop. I don't want to go on with it, so I'll just stop. I'll just end it with this. Deadpool 2 was great, but not better than the first. Not better than the first. And I have to say that's my opinion, and I felt that many people say the same thing. Deadpool the second wasn't anywhere close to what Deadpool number 1 was. I don't know what was the problem with. I mean, I know what the problem in my own knowledge or in my own perspective. I say I know what's the problem with this, but for some reason, I felt the first movie was so great that it took many laughs out of me. Many laughs. But then the second one was like stale. Stale bread. Like dry, stale bread. Like, but it didn't really amaze me. It wasn't like, wow, I'm amazed, it's better than the first. Holy. But if you're watching it, I guess there is the only good thing about this movie, and I'll say it right now. The only good thing about this movie is that they threw a lot of Easter eggs where they showed the X-Men. But I guess you could say that I could say that this movie didn't have X-Men. It was just considered the X-Force instead of X-Men, because the X-Men were behind those doors. But I felt that there was a lot of Easter eggs. There was a lot of crossovers. There was a lot of good things with that. When they say crossovers, a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of references, a lot of stuff like that. Yeah, I give you that one. I give it to you completely when you did it. I give it to you from beginning to end. It was just oh. The thing that I have to be honest about is, if you guys watch this movie, and this is a Marvel movie, I know this is a Marvel movie right off the bat. We know this is a Marvel movie, but the part that I have to be honest with you is that I really don't recall seeing Stan Lee in this movie. And at the same time, I don't remember seeing Stan Lee in the first Deadpool either. But every preview that I saw was like, yeah, I want to see Deadpool. I want to see Deadpool the second. I really want to see it. I hope it's better than the first. It looks like it's going to be amazing. It looks like it's going to be out of this world. But then when I saw it, it's like just a slap in the face. Just like not to the extent that it showed in the previews. Like, wow, this thing is going to be funny. This thing is going to be amazing. This thing's going to be 10 out of 10. It's going to be taking over the box office. It's going to be the king of box office for this time. I mean, like, not king, but I'm just saying, like, it's going to be at the top. It could be number 1 in the box office. And I'll have to see that again to see if in Deadpool 1 and 2, to see if I can find Stan Lee in this movie. First, I mean, if I can see Stan Lee in both of these movies, the first one and the second one, which Stan Lee, no matter what movie it is, just as long as it's a Marvel movie, he's going to have some sort of I would say some sort of cameo. So I would say this movie was 7 out of 10. And instead of me continuing this for a long time, I would say, yep, just watch it and you'll see that it's not, I mean, watch this movie. If you guys haven't watched it yet, just watch it and you'll see that it's not better. It's not better than the first. So I guess that's it. So that was my 7 out of 10 review. My thoughts on this movie. I guess I'll make another video. I guess this is it. So thank you guys for watching. Please, I'll just say thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.